Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do just a quick little reading for you today, quick pick a card reading. So I just received this deck. It's the Odyssey Oracle. The Odyssey Oracle. And into the boundless expanse we go. And this is from Threads of Fate. The journey stretches on. I love it. It's a fun deck. So I did their Kickstarter and just received it just recently, and I just want to share it with you. I really do love their decks, and I encourage you to go and check them out. This is again from Threads of Fate, so you can go to threadsoffate.com. all right, so let's just do this quick little reading. Okay, let's start off. Let's do 3 cards for each of the piles. So for pile 1, Spirit, could we get a card for pile 1? A card for pile 2. A card for pile 2, Spirit. And a card for pile 3. And pile 3. So if you want to choose without knowing what's on the card first, go ahead and do that now. And then find the timestamp below. But I am going to go ahead and flip them now. So for pile 1, we have Friction. What a beautiful card. Friction. All right, and for pile 2 we have Boundless. Another beautiful card. And pile 3, Halcyon. All right, so go ahead, pick your card, pick your pile, and I will see you in the timestamp below. All right. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. This is just going to be a quick little reading. A message that Spirit has for you today, has for you right now, something you need to hear right now. If you stuck around for the card flipping and the intro, you already know that this is card of Friction. There we go. What a beautiful, beautiful card. What just popped into my head, I have to share this little story with you. The first memory that I have, that I can remember anyway, the very first memory that I have is of being on the beach. It was morning, the sun was coming up, and I saw this beautiful golden light reflected on the ocean. And that's what this card reminds me of. And I remember thinking, if I just, or feeling, because I bet I was really, really young at the time, if I could just walk on that pathway, it's going to take me to heaven, or it's going to take me to where I need to go. I remember that. That is like one of my very first memories. And that's what this card reminds me of. And it's interesting that it comes with friction, because on our pathway to nirvana, on our pathway to source, we inevitably will run into friction. And I think that that's what this card is about. I haven't read the guidebook yet. I haven't gotten through it. I just got the cards recently. Very, very recently. But that reminds me of that memory that all good things, good things come in, you'll reach your goals, you reach where you need to go, but there will be friction on the way, and how do you deal with that friction? And let's see what else Spirit has for us. Let's go ahead and use this deck here. All right, could we get a little bit of clarification here? What is this message about, Spirit? The lesson is the lesson is recognizing that friction doesn't have to stop you, that you can, that's what life is. Life has the good things, life has the bad things, that you just have to go with the flow. You have to work through the friction. You have to be okay with the friction, because what comes after the wave, right? What comes after the high tide, the low tide, right? What comes after the rough water, the calm seas? You can't have the light without the dark, right? You can't have the light without the shadow. You can't have the good times. You don't recognize how good the good times are without the bad, experiencing the bad. And that's the friction, I think, in this message. Do you have anything else, Spirit, that you'd like to share with us? We have the Hierophant, the Hierophant, and we have the Six of Wands, and lastly, I'm going to use this deck here, a Lenormand. Mouse. All right, so the message for some of you anyway is or the question that perhaps you have is, how do I deal with the friction? How do I deal with that? And having some sort of structure in place. This is for some of you. Having some sort of structure in place, and how you approach it, how you go about dealing with these moments where you're feeling the pushback, or you're feeling that friction, you're hitting that, you're running up against that wall, right? Is to remember to have something in place already to recognize it, right? To be able to recognize it, and to know that in order to succeed, sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Stop fighting it, right? Stop fighting it. And this is going to be really important on those rainy days where the friction has worn you down and you're tired and you don't want to deal anymore. Remember that there is support. There is support in this, in planning ahead, and the structure that you've set for yourself, and how to deal with these moments. And you know, this reading could go in so many different ways, but I feel like this is the message that needs to be spoken here today. Could be something different in 10 minutes, but right now, for those of you watching this, having that in place in order to deal with, knowing how you're going to deal with these moments, is what will bring you success in life. And it's gonna, this ability to go with the flow, this ability to recognize and be self-aware enough that is the energetic block that you're coming up against. That's the energetic friction that's going on. Being that self-aware, it's going to help you in so many other areas of life, not just perhaps this one thing that you're dealing with right now. But that understanding, that awareness, being self-aware in that manner, and knowing ahead of time, well, okay, I know this feeling and this is how I'm going to respond to it, is that's gold. That's gold. That's the golden pathway. Oh, that's so beautiful. All right, and that is, don't forget, don't always just focus on the rain, right? Don't focus on everything that's terrible that's going on. Recognize the support that you have around you. Recognize those that are, holding up the umbrella for you, giving you a bit of respite from the storm. And that helps, you know, that's like the gratitude, you know, the exercise in being gracious for things that you have, the gratitude, have those gratitude exercises where you name the things that you're thankful for, right? And that actually helps you through those moments too. So maybe that is part of the structure, part of the plan in order that you put into action when you feel that friction, when you come into those moments of friction. And that's what I have for you today. All right, pile 1, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give a like. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notifications. And you'll be notified whenever something new comes up. I'm going to try and do some longer readings and some shorter readings going forward. Because I know some of you don't have a lot of time to just sit and listen to me talk for 20 minutes already. So there you have it, pile 1. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Alrighty, bye-bye. Hey there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose this card. If you didn't stick around for when I turned over the cards in the intro, your card is Boundless. So what do we have here? I feel like it's limitless. The sky is not the limit. That you can just keep going and going and going. And I feel such a lightness from this card, like just this lightness of being. That has been like the key word in my readings for the past 2 weeks. Lightness of being, of releasing some of the heaviness that we've been carrying and feeling this lightness. And that's, I think for this group, it's needed that you're feeling a bit out of balance, maybe a bit out of sorts. The heaviness, there's a heaviness that you can't maybe put your finger on, that you're trying to figure out, oh, what's it from? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I so tired? And I think this card is a reminder that to engage in certain things that help you feel lighter, that make you feel like laughter, right? That lightens the energy. It lightens the load, right? It removes some of the burden, just for a moment. Self-care is going to be important, and there's a reason behind it. And let's go ahead and ask Spirit, why this pile? Why this pile is getting this card? Yeah, why the lightness of being? Spirit, what does pile 2 need to know about this? The 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Pentacles. And usually we talk about balance in the 2s, right? Or the Lovers, or, in Temperance. But this is balance too. A different number, yet balanced. 6s are good also. 3 and 3 is 6, right? 4 and 2 is 6. That's the importance of that. But let's go ahead and let's pull one more. And we're talking about energy. So let's see, what is the importance of this? I'll use the energy deck. Energy Archaeology. And we have Transform. You see that? Sphenoid, Transform. And I think for some of you that have found your way to this reading, this quick little read here, you are engaging in a transformation of sorts, of finding yourself perhaps tied to one thing, yet feeling this energy of looking outward and wanting to go out and wanting to do things, you know, kind of like Taurus and not Scorpio, Sag energy, right? Where you're feeling you have all of these wonderful things to be grateful for, and these wonderful things that bring you such joy in your life, yet you still feel that wanderlust, right? That wanderlust, where you still want to, you know, there's still adventure, there's still exploration, there's still places you want to see and things you want to do, and I think you're working through this type of energy, and Spirit's coming in to let you know that perhaps, you know, that feeling, you know, that I spoke about earlier about feeling heaviness, feeling a burden, and not really quite being able to put your finger on it. This might be where it's coming from, is this tension between the wanting to be here and the wanting to go, right? And the message is that this is a growth edge that you're coming up against, that this isn't unusual, that this isn't a bad thing. This is learning, this is growth, this is transformation for you. It's understanding yourself more and recognizing that things don't always have to be one way or the other. Perhaps you have expectations of yourself that you should be happy because you have this, and you shouldn't be wanting to go off and do other things. But that's not normal. What's normal is this tension, and then coming to this understanding of the fact that it's okay, right? It's okay to have both, to feel that joy and that happiness and wanting to be here and now, and the you know, the looking outward and the wishing and the goal setting. That's an important part of being boundless, of not being limited, of being limitless. And this is a transformation that you're going through. So Spirit is here to just say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. This is part of your growth. This is part of finding balance between these different parts of you. You're made up of so many aspects. You're not just one thing. You're many things. You're boundless, right? So this quick little reading, this quick little message is, hey, everything's okay. Don't feel bad about it. This is part of the transformation. This is part of the growth. And I think there'll probably be more coming out in further readings if you want to come join me. This is a great one to actually touch on, to ask Spirit about for a longer reading. But I wanted to keep this short today. Like I told Pile 1, not everybody has, 25, 30 minutes to sit around and listen to me talk. So I hope you got something out of this, a little bit of comfort, a little bit of guidance. Be kind to yourself. Know that it's part of the transformation. Know that you're on the right path. This is growth. This is your way to balance. And you are boundless and limitless. All right, my dear friends in Pile 2 that chose Pile 2, I hope to see you next time. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you like the reading, go ahead and give it a like, and you can hit the notification button to be notified next time I have something up. Alrighty, have a great day. Be boundless, be limitless, be balanced. Enjoy all the aspects of you. Alrighty, bye-bye, Pile 2. Hey there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, this quick little reading. You chose this card, and if you didn't see it when I flipped it over at the start, your card is Halcyon. And this, I haven't read the guidebook yet that comes with this, or that says what all the oracles, it gives an interpretation of all the oracles. But Halcyon, I know, I think of the good old days. That's actually what I'm hearing in my head, is the good old days. I'm not sure what the card is meant, what they mean in this deck, but what do we get from that? Right? I kind of see this also as, you know, it's like you're protecting. There's so many different layers of meaning that I'm getting here. Looking back to the good old days, that nostalgia, that longing, that want for simpler times, perhaps, or what we think were simpler times, which, you know, not necessarily is true. I see this as like a hand, like protecting against change, maybe not wanting things to change, not wanting to look in the mirror and recognize that things have changed. So maybe you're feeling, maybe you're kind of in that space. Maybe you're hitting up against some, you know, growth edges, and it's not fun, and you're looking back and thinking of, quote unquote, the good old days, right? And afraid of change. Like, I really, those are the two main points that I'm getting from this card. So let's go ahead and get some tarot cards, and let's expand on this message. Spirit, what is the message that you have for pile 3 today? What is the message that you have for pile 3 today? We have the 9 of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Yeah, non-movement, right? And let's get one more card here. I'm gonna pull from, let's get this deck here. One more oracle card. And what do we have for pile 3? Lemon Balm, Nurture. So, not wanting, maybe you're not seeing your what is happening you don't like. What you're seeing is not moving quickly enough. Perhaps you've made a change in your life and it hasn't really turned out the way that you thought it was going to turn out because things are moving so slowly. That's what I'm getting here, that you're working towards. This is, for some of you, it was an ending to something, end of a relationship. And you thought that, okay, well, I've done all this work towards, you know, getting back on my feet and trying to make my way in the world. But things, just the way of the world right now has been difficult for you, and has been kind of making progress very slow, making you feel like you're not moving, you're not really going anywhere. For some of you, and for others of you, it's the fear of actually enacting this change, whatever that change may be, and there's fear behind it. In both cases, there's fear that you're never going to get where you want to get to, that you're never going to reach that point, and then for the other is you're afraid of leaving the comfort. Because this is good, and you don't want to find yourself in a situation where, you know, like this person here who's, you know, not really happy with how things are going right now. So yeah, there's a couple different groups here, different types here watching this reading. And the overall medicine here is to be kind to yourself. There is to be okay with it, to recognize that things take time, right? That change takes work, right? Change takes work. You gotta be like the bee. You have to just keep at it. But when the change does come, it's gonna be quick. That's what I'm hearing. It's gonna be like you'll look back on it. You'll look back on it when you've reached that point. You're gonna look back on it and be like, wow, that didn't take as long as I thought it did. You know, when you're in this at this point, or in this point where you're sitting in the fear. Just keep at it. Be kind to yourself. Be positive. Nurture this decision, this dream, these goals that you're trying to achieve. Because the good old days, the things that maybe you're reaching back to and like, well, that was when life was great. Life was great at that time, but maybe it wouldn't have been so great if you'd stayed in that situation. You're being moved forward for a reason. And the reason is you're in your best interests. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. You could also get this to move more quickly if you kind of just surrendered. I just did another reading about surrendering to the flow when you're coming up against you're feeling the friction, or maybe even, was it pile 1? Go ahead and check out pile 1. That actually might have some meaning for you too. But I did another reading about the time that this one came out. You can take a look for the flowers, because I did it on the same day, where we talked about surrendering to the situation, surrendering to the energy of the moment, and being okay with where you're at, and being kind to yourself with where you're at, and just taking a break and giving it to the universe. You're still working at it. You're still doing what you got to do for the, to keep things sort of balanced here in the physical world. But go ahead and give some of the fears, some of the fear that things are taking too long, or you're never going to get there, or give those thoughts to Spirit and let them deal with it, so that you can find a little bit of peace in the process. And that's part of the nurturing, finding peace in the process. You just keep at it, keep doing what you're doing. Know that this is all happening for you. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a good thing, a very good thing. And you're going to look back and be like, whoa, what was I worried about? What was I worried about? Don't look back, look forward. Moving forward. All right, pile 3. I promised this was going to be a quick read, so it took me a little time to get through it, because I had so many different things coming in from a lot of different spirit guides jumping in to this little reading. But I think the common core, the overall message is: don't look back, look forward. Be kind to yourself, nurture yourself where you're at right now. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to turn out how you need it to turn out. All right, pile 3. I'm wishing you the best of luck, a little bit of peace. Let's go ahead. Actually, let's do this real quick. I'm gonna clear maybe some of the obstacles. You can do some obstacle clearing, energy clearing, to help you with the nurturing. Clear some of that away. All right. Okay. Come on, take a deep breath. Breathe it out. Surrender that to spirit. And then get on with your day. All right. Have a good one. I hope to see you next time, Pile 3. All right, you guys. Bye-bye.